Hi guys, welcome to the Weekly Roundup show. This week the topics include Star Wars, The Old Republic, Gwent, and some live stream future plans for the next week because of the launch of Star Wars The Old Republic's next expansion, Knights of the Eternal Throne. Let's begin with what you're looking at the screen. This is my just fresh out of editing, just being published Star Wars Rebels, the Wynkahthu or Wynkahthu job. Wow, really complicated title. This is the name of a brand new planet that was just introduced in the latest episode number 7, according to the official counting from Wikipedia. Or maybe others would call it, I don't know, episode 8, maybe even episode 9, depending on how do you count the first double episode from the beginning of the season. That's not really important. This was kind of a side step from the main story, and just for fun, I think. Nothing really majorly revealed or explained, but I've still managed to extract some interesting details, and you would be able to see them here. Something I have to say about Zeb, the planet, the brand new planet with the weird name, and a very fun joke about Ezra cutting through a hangar door. And you'll see why this is a joke when you watch the episode. Without spoiling too much about the episode itself, in case you haven't seen it yet, we get to see two side characters that do appear from time to time. Those are the fat guy, I think it was called as Morrigan. I keep forgetting his name because yet again, it's a complicated one. And we also see Hondo, who's among my favorite side characters, but he gets boring from time to time. In this week's Star Wars show, they celebrated the 20th anniversary of StarWars.com. I do remember the early years because I had 2 years of recurring membership to Star Wars Hyperspace Beacon, I believe it was called. Or Hyperspace, Star Wars Hyperspace, something, never mind. There was a special subscription for about $40-45 per year that they would deliver you online content plus a little bit of maybe 1 or 2 physical gifts, but I never received them because, travel distance. And anyway, just good old memories. In this week's episode of the Star Wars show, they remember what was the original look of the old website, and the interview with the main guest of the show is also about the early days of StarWars.com. What was the prime purpose and the idea behind this website? Why was it created? And so on and so on. Moving on with one of the most important topics for the next week, but it was introduced and mentioned this week. That's why it's in this week's Weekly Roundup. Star Wars The Old Republic server maintenance for patch 5.0 and the next expansion, Knights of the Eternal Throne Early Access, will be, for me at least, on the early afternoon of 29th November. The official hours are actually from noon GMT to 16 GMT. You can obviously convert that into your own time zone, and you would see what exactly it should be. All of the active missions that you currently have in your characters in Star Wars The Old Republic will be reset when the new patch lands. This is not new, and it has been happening, I think, since forever. Some of the major missions are not supposed to reset, like, for example, the Macabre missions about the Seeker droid and the micro-binoculars, and the HK gathering mission. Those are not supposed to reset. If they do, you should file a ticket with BioWare's customer support and ask them to return the mission status to the whatever point and whatever objective you had reached up previously before the launch of the expansion. Anything else, such as normal side quest missions and heroics and operations and such, everything will be reset. This is done, I think, primarily because BioWare doesn't want us to have a bunch of heroic missions prepared for handing in and level up a few levels easily and quickly. Last topic for this weekly roundup about Star Wars The Old Republic is the probably last time coming back or returning server transfer sale. The server transfers are 2 types, you probably know. The local, which is if you're located on a European server, you will be able to transfer your character locally to another European server for 90 cartel coins. The other type of server transfers are cross-region. For example, if you're located on a European server and you want to move to a North American server, That's a cross-region server transfer, and this one is also discounted to 150 Cartier coins. If you've missed something about Star Wars The Old Republic Patch 5.0 and Knights of the Eternal Throne before or after the launch, this thread should be of great help to you. It's linked in the top of every other smaller post, video, or article related to the expansion on my website, as well as on the homepage of the website. And I've just restructured it to make some space for material after launch and before launch. Currently, the after launch section is still kind of empty, with just the 2 live shows being announced. I will probably tell you a bit more about the live shows in a next video, maybe released on Monday evening, to warn you about coming spoilers, about how the live stream will be structured, what kind of videos you could and should expect next week on my YouTube channel, what kind of tutorials and guides you will see on Vulkk.com. Here is a blog post on topic of Gwent, the Witcher card game. I have included 2 videos that I've published in the last few days in that post, and judged by the title, how much luck is involved in a game of Gwent. With the text here and supported by the 2 videos, I'm trying to determine really how lucky you need to be able to successfully beat your opponents in Gwent. It's actually aimed at Gwent and Gwent players and fans, but I think pretty much the same and or similar standards apply to every other card collecting game available. I haven't played any others except for Gwent, and I can't really vouch for any others, but I know that luck is always involved more or less in these types of online games. I really strongly suggest you check out the videos in or out of context with relations to this blog post, because I consider them fun. I did voice them over. They were originally supposed to be a part of a bigger gameplay pack video with a similar deck, as in introducing the deck in the first few minutes and then playing 3 to 5 games showing the capabilities of that deck. Instead, I've opted out to publish just these 2 short games in a standalone videos because they were really interesting to me. I did my best to explain my actions and what I think I should have done and what I did do. And well, just take a look. They're between 8 or 12 minutes long, I think, so not really long. That's a standard duration for a game of Gwent. The big announcement for the next week is that I already scheduled 2 live streams for the beginning of the week. Actually, the first one is for 16 GMT on Tuesday. This is the time when the servers are expected to go live. And this is going to be according to your votes in my poll. Dark Side walkthrough with my Sith Warrior through Eternal Throne. I'm going to do my best and do all the chapters in one live stream, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be possible for me physically. I do have the time, but I probably won't have the strength to do that. And I will be doing my best to split and separate every single chapter into a standalone normal video. So you would be able to watch the whole live stream recording and or the single chapter walkthroughs. After that, I will be making highlights with interesting moments from the story, like dialogue options and funny cutscenes, for example. I will be making a special live stream and follow-up shorter videos trying to explain and show absolutely everything that has been changed with the game. And that is why I have this section here, what's new in 5.0, in my collective thread right here. I will be doing my best to show you the UI changes, the class changes, some of the new abilities, although we already have a bunch of visual materials related to the new abilities. Hopefully somewhere in December, after I gain some really nice time to test and play with the latest and official changes to my favorite class, the Sentinel and Marauder. The first guides will appear, maybe later on other guides for other classes will appear. That depends on my free time and your interest. That's pretty much it for now. Now, please keep in mind that these 2 live events are with a varying start time. The one on Tuesday is set to start at 16 GMT because that's when we expect the servers to go live. If there is something unpredicted or not planned, such as server delay, the live show will be delayed. For the one on Wednesday, There might be a forced change in the starting time because I have a special engagement related to something in my personal life. I have to go and take my dog for a special treatment at the vet. Let's call it treatment. It's something a little bit more complicated, but you don't really need or care. You don't need to know about these details. What I want to say is that this live stream is going to happen, but it may have to be delayed with up to an hour or two, depending on when I am asked to go back and pick up my dog and take her back home after those treatments. That's it for this version of the Weekly Roundup show. Do not forget to check all of the other videos that I have published on my YouTube channel. Pretty much none of them made it this week to the website. So if you're following just the website or just the channel, you are missing out. If you are a fan of Gwent, a fan of The Witcher, there are quite a few videos that I've published on the YouTube channel. They're mostly short. That's why I didn't upload them to Vulkk.com, because they are part of a larger series. For example, my Witcher 3 Special Moments series. I have quite a few, and I consider very interesting videos to see, to learn new things or remind yourself about things that you have experienced and witnessed in your own playthrough, whenever it was. I think that's enough for this week. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next one.